Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Welcome back to the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. It is great to be back. Unfortunately, due to the weather, we are without our esteemed host, Mr. Matt. So shout out, Mr. Matt. I know you're going to tune in at some point while driving around your big tractor. So thank you, sir. But other than that, it's great to be back here. Shout out to Fantasy Six Pack. And remember to hit the bell till it goes ding and hit the like button. Those are two things that are very key. Also, hit us up on wherever you get your podcasts. Jason, how are we feeling, my guy?
Hey, doing well. Glad to be back. It's kind of sad and bittersweet that the NFL season is at an end. But we have time for the playoffs now, my guy. We are ready.
It's no
we are
time for
locked and
remorse.
loaded.
It is no time to remorse. 'Tis the best time of the year. And all three of our teams actually made it to the playoffs this year. So that's pretty fun as well. And unfortunately, we're all AFC peeps, so only one will win. We'll see who ends up being at the top dog at the end. We'll see. So a couple of little rundown things we're going to do. We are going to give our normal picks today, and we will also do a fun special thing. Since it's the start of the playoffs, Jason and I are going to build a pigskin bracket. Basically, we're going to build our way to the Super Bowl, and we will make them into a group, and you can join the group. I will post it under the YouTube page for you to join. We're going to do it over on ESPN just because it's easy that way. So, Jason, are you ready to get into it, my guy?
Yeah, Shane. So I have these season totals for us. So, guys, are we doing it that way? Officially, records are closed for our regular season. We start new records for playoffs. That's how we're going to do it this year?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So to recap last week, your boy went 3-2. Matt had a great week going 3-1, and Shane, first time under 500 in a hot minute, honestly, my guy, 2-3. Free plays, your boy was at 2-2, Matt was at 3-1, and Shane was also at 2-2, which brings our free play total that we gave out to you guys at 7-5, over 500. So if you tilt those bets with the equal units laid, you won some money last week. So, hey, shout out. And our group lock of the week, which we have never done in the history of the show before, easy, cash money. That was like a no sweat bet, right?
It was. It felt like a no sweat bet. Yeah. It felt like, well, I take that back. The first half, we were sweating. Second half was absolutely gonzo. Shout out Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, we figured the Lions were going to be the better team in that matchup, and it held true. We just didn't expect their defense to come out and play like that, to be completely honest. Okay. But the season totals for everybody, your boy finished off the regular season at 47, 41, and 1. Matt finished off at 44, 35, and 1, and Shane comes in at the top spot this season at a great record of 63, 49, and 5. Shane,
yeah, I just crowned myself.
I think this is the best season you've ever had since we started this. So, hey, hats off to you. You've only gotten better, and I love it. You put in the work. But this is the best group as a group. This is the best group total we've had collectively.
Yes, it is. And also, what is up, Jamie? How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Other than that, yeah, we've killed it this year.
I have the season total. I have the season total for us. I just added it up, Shane. It is 151, 125, and 7 this year.
It's 151, 105, and
125. 125 and 7. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know what the math comes out to that, Jason?
No idea. I would have to pull out a calculator, and I do not even want to try that right now, honestly. But I think that's over. I want to say over 70% win percentage, 65-ish. I don't know. I would have to.
In total bets, we're at a 53% win clip.
Really? Only 53?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's total. That's
I
including the
didn't
pushes.
Yeah. Well, hey,
Yep.
math was not my strong suit.
That's
I went
okay.
to college to play baseball.
53.1. So we did make money if you had bet every single bet we got. Jamie, I'm sad I missed my touchdown parlay last week. I don't even remember who killed it, but I was one leg away. So, yeah, I don't want to talk about those right now. It's gonna hurt my feelings. But yeah, it's been a great year, and it only goes up from here. And this is also the best time of the year. So that also kind of like rhymed. That was weird. Jason, who is kicking off? You or me?
Yeah. Since you are hosting the show today, let me go ahead and kick it off. Usually we give the person that had the best record last week and, of the season, the honors and playoffs. But since you're hosting, let me start it off to give you your moment to shine. Guys, I'm only giving out 3 plays this week for the free plays. I'll probably have a couple more, two, maybe 3 for the playoffs. Whenever we get back into it, I'll probably have those closer to around Thursday or Friday for y'all just to see if there's a line movement and whatnot. But let's start it off. My lock of the week. I'm going with the LA Rams. I know it's kind of I'm playing it based on how the Vikings played last week. But that Rams offense is nasty when they get clicking. I want the more experienced quarterback in the playoffs. I love that situation. Sam Darnold, last week was kind of a playoff game for him, his first playoff game. Give me Rams at home as home dogs in this as my lock. I think they kind of, based on seeding, this isn't going to shock the world, but I think if you look at the record and whatnot, I think this could be a decent size upset. Next one, I think this just really stands out. It's the Steelers plus 10 on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. These teams have already seen each other twice. The Steelers play the Ravens very well. They game plan for Lamar very well. I know it's kind of ugly after the way the Steelers kind of ended the season, but if you're giving me 10 points with Tomlin in that defense, I kind of have to take it, Shane. I kind of have to. It looks too good not to, and if they blow them out, they blow them out. But I don't see that happening, honestly, especially a divisional rival. Lastly, Shane, I told you I never do this, and I hate doing it, but I am doing it. Give me my Texans plus 3 at home.
Ooh.
I know. People are going to sit there like, okay, you're going up against a top 5 quarterback and you're taking your team. CJ did look decent that first drive that they played against the Titans, but the Titans are the Titans and they're not very good. So I like the matchup at home. I think I saw something for like the 8th or 9th straight time that the Texans have made playoffs. We get the 3:00 spot on Saturday. They don't care about us. We don't look good. We're not the sexy team, but I do like this matchup, and I think this could be one of the better matchups of the weekend with CJ and Herbert facing off against one another. Give me the Texans to cover at home.
I have a fun thing because I also have a play on the Texans game, and I'll give you my point here in a little bit. But
Okay.
Are those all your plays for the week?
Those are all the plays. I parlayed Evans plus 90 and under 101 with the Bucks money line. Only needed one.
Yeah, you tried to hit the sweet spot. Jamie went for the sweet spot hit and just barely missed. All right, well, since I teased it, Jason, I'll just go ahead and give my teaser. The 6-point teaser is, my stereotypical play. I always get one out every week. I'm including the Texans in it. And it's primarily because the Chargers will be playing their 3rd consecutive road game. Teams that have played 3 consecutive road games this late in the season don't typically win. So give me the Texans with the points as an easy cover at 3. And since I'm teasing it, it's 9. So very comfortable win on that side. And then I'm tagging them with the Bills. Listen, I'm not a huge Josh Allen stan, but he has done amazing things this year. They're playing the Broncos that, have been surprising. And one thing that you should know is that you fade rookie quarterbacks, or you fade quarterbacks who have never been to the playoffs. It's an entirely different game. This is a chance to fade Bo Nix and to get the Bills to -2.5 and just get it under a field goal. I think that's an easy tie-in with what I think is a, very solid Texans game and spot to bet. So tagging those two together in the 6.2 just makes sense. My lock of the week, Jason, it's another one where I'm fading a rookie quarterback. Listen, Jaden Daniels, you have done admirably, my guy. You've gotten this team to the playoffs. The Commanders are a team because of you. They're in the playoffs because of you, and it's without a doubt. The Buccaneers struggle in the secondary. I get that, and the Commanders may be able to exploit that. But the one thing the Buccaneers defense does amazingly well is shut down the run, and they're one of the best units in football at stopping the run and boxing in quarterbacks. So I think that this is a matchup where the Buccaneers can exploit the Commanders secondary, and they can hold Jaden Daniels in while also taking advantage of that lack of playoff experience. It is pressure time, and the pressure cooker is going to pop on this Jaden Daniels-led Commanders team. Bucks -3. And then last but not least, I am also on the Rams at +1.5. Listen, I have been hating on the Vikings since the very beginning. I will not stop now. Look, the Rams defense does leave a lot to be desired. However, I think that Matthew Stafford and this Rams offense can't exploit what is a very vulnerable Vikings secondary and put up enough points to get the job done. And they're playing at home. I know that technically, it's not that big of a home field advantage, but it matters when you're traveling from, a central time zone to the West Coast. That's 2 time zones you're crossing. It's not favorable for the teams when you do so. And I do also want to note, it's a late kickoff. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff. That is late. That's a 9 p.m. kickoff their time. That is going to be a rough one for the Vikings, an understated additional side effect of the playoffs. Those are my plays as far as sides go. Now, Jason, I have a fun one for you.
Hit me.
Lamar Jackson over 50 yards rushing is at -105. I am taking that.
Okay.
Lamar,
what you said, 50?
It's at 50. Well, it's actually at 48.5. I'm taking it up to 50. It's at 48.5, and it's -115. I don't want to squeeze the juice at 115. Give me the extra 1.5 yards. Over 50 is -105. So Lamar Jackson over 50 rushing yards is my additional play, and it's because of 2 things. One, Lamar is a freak, and they need to win this game. It's the playoffs. He's going to do what he has to do. Number 2, quarterbacks run more in the playoffs. So quarterback rushing overs are definitely in play, and Lamar to get 50 yards is so easy for him. That line is, the 48.5 is disrespectfully low against what is going to be a game where they, should be attempting to establish the run. Also, additional note, they may be without Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are we banking on Rashad Bateman to have another game across from Porter Jr.? I don't know. I don't trust it. So yeah, Lamar 50 yards rushing. I also am looking at Andrews receiving yards for that game. I haven't put anything in it yet, but I will look into that. The Steelers are one of the worst units in football against tight ends. So
Andrews scores habitually versus.
He does. Andrews or likely. One of the 2 of those would be a very solid play, I think. But I will look into that and update my sheet accordingly. So stay tuned for that. Go check out the sheet over at fantasy6pack.net. Well, Jason, I think it's kind of time for the fun time, right?
Yes, let's get into it. We're going to do something new for y'all.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we are. We're going to zoom this in just a little bit. So it's
perfect.
I don't know. Can you read it? Can you read it?
Yeah, I can read it.
Okay. All right, Jason. Chiefs are the 1 seed. Lions are the 1 seed on the other side. Texans, Chargers, the 3:30 kickoff on Saturday.
Are we
I know
both
you're thinking,
agreeing on these, or are we making one for ourselves?
I think that we should do a joint one.
Okay.
And I'm actually on board with the Texans. It's against the grain. It's against what people are saying. This is the playoffs, though. I'm not inspired by the Texans. However, 3 straight road games is very hard to overcome this late in the season. And it's the playoffs. Weird things happen. Give me the Texans to eke by.
I'd rather take the dog here, and I'm not going to go against my Texans, but I think we can be completely honest that nobody even if we do lose, no team is going to beat the Chiefs in the next round. So,
the only way that gets interesting is if there's an upset. Look, Ravens, Steelers, I think it's pretty easy to do the math.
Yeah, we can agree. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the Ravens. And then Bills, Broncos. As much as I would love to see a Broncos-Bills upset, I can't say that. I can't, in good faith, say that we are projecting the Bills to lose to the Broncos. So let's go ahead and lock those in for the divisional round and move to the NFC. All right, the NFC, Jason. This gets a little dicey. We have both picked the Rams to cover 1.5. Do we think they win outright?
Yes.
Okay, Rams to win outright. I like the Bucs. Do you like the Bucs?
I agree with the Bucs pick. I think that is going to be a closer game than people can expect. I think that could be one of the better matchups of the weekend.
I agree with that thought process. I do think it could end up being kind of a shootout.
Yes, and hopefully it is.
Yeah. Eagles Packers.
This could go either way, Shane.
Yeah. Both starting quarterbacks have question marks about their health. I think I'm leaning. I have the Bucs winning only because of Baker's. Yeah, 100%. I was just discussing that earlier. That we fade rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs, or guys who have never made the playoffs. Sam Darnold. So yeah, this is a welcome to the show moment for both of those guys and Bo Nix. You fade rookies, you back what is traditionally experience. So Stafford versus Darnold, I feel like that's a pretty easy one for me. Eagles versus Packers. Jalen could be out. Jordan Love could be hurt.
How is he still out with a concussion after 3 weeks?
He got knocked the fuck out. That's how. The jacked up.
I missed
they
that
used to run jacked.
Mm-hmm.
They used to run jacked up. That is what happened to Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I loved celebrating CTE back in the day. That was a wild times. I don't know. This one's hard for me.
I think you go either way. I would say Eagles because I do think Jalen Hurts tries to make a comeback, and we get a rematch of the wild card round.
If you look at the betting market, the over-under is creeping up, which leads me to believe that people who know something think that Jalen will play in this game. So I will also agree with you. That's completely dependent on if Jalen plays. If Jalen does not play, it is not the Eagles. It is 100% the Green Bay Packers for me.
Let's start
Chiefs,
with
Texans.
NFC again. Let's go NFC again.
Okay.
I want to stay there. Yeah.
Are we working at the bottom? Working from the bottom on the way up? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Eagles, Bucks. Jason, you're going to hate this. Or maybe you're going to love it. I don't know.
I'm down. Let's just go shake and bake.
I am taking the Buccaneers over the Eagles. One thing the Bucks do really well, we just talked about it, is stop the run. Eagles are a run-first team. Jalen seems to fold under pressure. It's tough. It's tough because the Buccaneers secondary is so bad, but I think that the Buccaneers produce enough on the offensive side, and the Eagles have just enough question marks that the Buccaneers could eke out what would be a very close win in Philadelphia. And then Lions-Rams, Jason.
Oh, it's going to be such a good game.
It could be a high-scoring affair if this were the matchup.
We can't do it. We can't do it. We got to go Lions.
I think I got to go Lions.
Yeah.
as much as I want to back Stafford in Detroit, like the narrative there is so fun to back Stafford, but I think the Lions are just the better team. And I think that's just, that's unfortunately the math there. The next best matchup, arguably the one that, all of Twitter is going to be pounding the table, is the Super Bowl. Bills Ravens.
I think we can agree on this.
You think so?
Yeah, because I'm going Ravens.
Cool. That was where I was going. I think that the Bills have too many question marks. The Ravens, with Zay Flowers, are one of the best offenses in football.
Did they play each other this year?
I don't believe
so.
they did. I don't believe they
and
did.
teams that don't play Lamar Jackson habitually don't do well versus him.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue is you're also facing Josh Allen on the other side, who's, also does a lot of the things Lamar does extremely well. And then obviously, we
don't have to talk much about that game.
I was like, I don't want to do it to you, but I got to do it to you. Which one are you going with? The NFC champ, AFC champ? Which one first?
AFC.
All right. Chiefs, Ravens, my pick here. These teams did face each other earlier this season. So we're talking about a defense that has seen Lamar. Think about all the bulletin board material that the Ravens gave them after that win. Think about how much better the Chiefs have gotten offensively since that win. I'm afraid to step in front of the Chiefs if I'm any team. The Ravens may be the only exception as far as teams that I think are of the highest quality in the NFL.
I mean, it all depends on the game plan. They need to run the football in order to win this game. And if they did what they did last year, they will not have a chance.
You can, and the Chiefs' run defense is amazing with Chris Jones in. If he's healthy, if he's in that game, he's the ultimate stopper.
I think it's hard to pick against the Chiefs in this situation until Lamar has to prove me wrong before I can give him respect.
You're right. He also is. He's 2-4 in the playoffs. So we have him winning 2 games already. He's already 4-4. Is he going to win a third? I don't know. I don't think so. Lions Bucks. What a wild shootout that would be if the Lions get the Rams. Jamie, I do think that is one of the more likely matchups as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lions, Ravens would be a sick Super Bowl. I think it's the Lions over the Bucks. Even with all of the Lions' injuries, I think that the Lions over the Bucks makes sense. They have too much firepower. They somehow continue to step up their defensive players, even though they're hurt. Continue to do just crazy things. So I think that the Lions over the Bucks makes sense, which sucks because we have both 1 seeds in the Super Bowl.
And it never happens.
No, it never happens. But we ended up here. So the only way that I don't think the Lions make the Super Bowl is if the Eagles right the ship. I think that's my big takeaway is if the Eagles right the ship, then the Lions don't make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just honestly, the only 4 teams, if we're going to be completely honest about this, Shane, only 4 teams that I can see actually making it. For some reason, I don't have confidence in the Bills unless you get bad weather in Buffalo. If we get bad weather in Buffalo for that Ravens-Bills game, I could see them. But I would say Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Lions, and Eagles are the only true teams.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I would pick Ravens over Bills.
Okay, in the shootout of what could be a shootout, Chiefs versus Lions.
I think the Lions spoil it, but I think
you think it's this.
I think it's destiny, but sometimes stories don't end like you think they should.
Yeah, the Chiefs continue to be the villain would be a fun storyline.
But the only thing is this is their year.
Oh yeah, for the Chiefs or the Lions?
The Lions, this is their year.
I mean, this is the destiny run. But I'm saying if the Chiefs play spoiler, that would be the funniest narrative because they continue to be the villains of the NFL.
Oh, nobody is going to root for y'all. Nobody.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be so funny. Especially if it's against the Lions. Yeah, there's going to be zero non-Chiefs fans are pulling for the Chiefs in that situation.
Yeah, Jamie, I would love to see the Lions Ravens as well.
I don't know. This one's tough. I think honestly, this almost comes down to a coin flip.
Yeah, it's a toss up, man. That one's honestly a toss up. And what would you think that line would be? A point?
I would make it 2.5 Chiefs.
Yeah.
If I'm making this game in February, 2.5 Chiefs.
Send it.
Points.
Yeah.
How many points in the entire playoffs?
48.
All of the playoffs.
Oh.
All 13 games. What we got?
All 13 with 48 times 13.
Do we need to break out the calculator?
Yeah.
I wasn't a math major, guys. 13 times 48. 624.
Let's go 600.
6. You think 600? Okay.
That's 48. That's 48 points a game.
Well, it's 13 games, so 48
40
times 13 is 624.
Yeah, and go a little bit less here and there. I don't think much teams go over that.
Okay. All right. Well, there is. We're content with the Chiefs winning it all. I can be convinced to submit it as the Lions. I can.
But I think you beat the Eagles if the Eagles are there.
I mean, I don't disagree. I don't think that the NFC looks that good this year. The AFC looks like a freaking slugfest, and except for, I mean, unfortunately, you guys would have been a part of the slugfest. But I think that the biggest issue is the NFC just doesn't look as determined as they have in the past. We need to do some conference realignments. That's what we need to do. Anyways, all right, Chiefs are your Super Bowl winners. We will go ahead and put this into ESPN and get an invite sent out for a group, and I'll post it on the video, like underneath the video later. Other than that, though,
we got one more thing.
Yeah, it was like aside from the Dawg parlay, do we have any other fun things?
No, I don't think there's really much news. You know who you're getting with these teams. I don't think they're besides the Jalen Hurts stuff and Zay Flowers, like you mentioned. I think you know who's really going to be the dudes this week. And I mean, playoff betting is weird, man. It's you go against the experience, or you bet with the experience versus the inexperience. So just keep that food for thought right there.
Yeah, and then for our Moneyline Dawg parlay of the week,
go ahead.
I am taking the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, and surprise, surprise, I'm going homer pick. Give me the Texans at home.
And that takes it up to plus 372 as a great way to kick off your playoff experience.
You know we love home dogs too.
We do. And yeah, both of them are home dogs. That's kind of wild. In the playoffs, 2 home dogs, that's criminal. Anyways, I think that does it for us here today. Remember to have a great time with what is one of the best times of the year in the NFL playoffs. Bet responsibly and have fun. Root on your teams or root on somebody else's team or root for the demise of the Chiefs. It's fine. Other than that, Jason, you know what to do, my guy.
Hey, Jamie, thanks for hopping on with us. Hey guys, and if you want to get Matt's picks, we'll hit up Matt and get him to post them on his Twitter.
Yeah, he's out there plowing the snow and not in the fun way. We will see you guys next week. In the meantime, peace.